What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the second video here with Wilson Mining. It's Steven and my brother Eric. Today we're going to be telling you the story about how we got started in our mom's basement and then graduated to our first location that did not work out, and all the mistakes that we learned along the way. So we got started like many other plebs out there. We bought one S19, the 110 version, and installed 240 volt electricity in our mom's basement and started hashing away. We woke up every morning and started checking the slush pool wallet and got addicted pretty fast and pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
And things moved super quickly from there. Bitcoin took a big price dip, and the miners, the ASIC machines were very, very cheap at the time, or compared to when we bought our first one. So we immediately decided that we wanted to go bigger and buy a bunch more ASICs. So the second part of the plan came into play, where we ended up coming down to Iowa, where we have a grain bin operation. Our mom is a farmer, and we decided we were going to stick our machines in one of the warehouses, use the electricity that we had already pre-set up here.
We had 600 amp single phase service. Unfortunately, it was the basic 120 240, but we had the grain bin operation uses just about the full 600 amp, but it only uses that in like mid-October to mid-November.
Right.
And so all the other months or all the other times it was not being used, and we realized we could use, the full 600 amps, or 480, taking the 80% rule. We could utilize that, and it was already there. We already had breakers. We had to get 3 more 200 amp breakers. We had the local electrician that we use for the grain bin operation install 3 200 amp panels, and of course separate breakers on those panels. We used, on each panel there was 4 40 amp breakers, and we used ASIC mining panels. We used their PDUs. We used, I forget what the receptacle was, but it was 240 volt obviously, and then each PDU could power 2 miners because we were overclocking them to about 4,000 to 4,500 watts. We were getting about 125 terahash on them.
Yep, exactly.
Obviously we were doing immersion.
Yep, and we just jumped straight into immersion.
Yeah.
Eric built out the whole facility. It was very, very cool. We'll show you guys in some of the upcoming clips here how the whole thing worked. Unfortunately, we made kind of a pretty major mistake, and the most important part of the whole operation was with the power provider.
Yep, as it always is.
As it always is. And we made the mistake of thinking that the power provider was going to want to negotiate with us because we were going to be using so much power. We thought that, we were going to immediately qualify for the lowest rates, and that they were going to be all gung-ho to have us using all this power and so on and so forth. And that assumption was dead wrong.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
We were doing about 100 kilowatts per hour. So we were at a 100 kilowatt facility, which isn't huge, but it was big enough, we thought, to get the attention of the power company.
Yep. And at that time, we had more miners that were coming, so we didn't have everything that we had right now. And unfortunately, they basically told us, we don't want your business.
Yeah, told us to pound sand and get off the fucking line.
Basically, it told us to kick rocks, and that's kind of what we had to do, unfortunately. So really, before this main mistake could have definitely been avoided by absolutely getting clear indication on the power rates that you are going to be having. In our experience, the power provider that didn't work out with us, Alliant Energy, they're a huge public company. Because they're so big, there's no way for us to get to anybody who's important or matters at that company. Yeah. And it's very difficult to get these sorts of things done when you're dealing with just a normal account rep, basically.
Even if we would have agreed to a power rate, we were still having issues getting 3-phase service because we wanted more miners, obviously, and we wanted to expand. And just the local person who dealt with, I guess, the electrical infrastructure, we couldn't even talk to her. Like, she wouldn't even call us back. She wouldn't email us back.
It was very, very frustrating.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had to move, and we're very, very happy that we did, because we just moved about 3-4 miles right down the road, and we got out of Alliant Energy's territory, and now we're with a new co-op, and it is much better to work with them. So for anyone who doesn't know, a co-op is just a small community owned company, business. Basically, it's not a nonprofit, but it's not a for-profit company.
So the customers are actually the owners,
right?
That's how the co-op works.
So we got direct access straight to Garrett, the CEO of the co-op, and we work directly with him, and it's much better because he's the one who can make the decisions. He's the one who can help us and get the ball moving, and that's exactly what he's done. So for any of you guys out there, if you're kind of looking at power providers and trying to decide who you want to go with, keep in mind that the bigger guys are going to be a lot more difficult to deal with, especially if you're not a huge mega operation where you're doing 100 megawatts. You know, if you're going to be, 5 megawatts and under, you're going to have a much better luck using a smaller electric provider where you can get more personalized service, and your business is actually going to mean a significant amount to their bottom line in their business. So they are going to be super motivated to work with you. That's the big major mistake that we made with our first operation. Please don't make the same mistakes yourself. It was costly financially, and just the time that it took, unfortunately. And
the frustration
was probably the worst of all of it. Anyways, in the next video, we're going to show you guys actually a breakdown of the 2 power bills that we have from each company, and show you the reasons that the first power provider, Alliant, was so bad to work with. You'll see all the red flags all over the bills, and then we'll show you the new power company that we're working with, and we'll show you all of the green flags all over their bills. So we will see you guys in the next one. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share if you got any Bitcoin mining friends you want to show it to. We'll see you guys in the next one.